Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host. Yes, people, welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host of the Most Bridge Nation, here today to give you the latest Chelsea transfer news. Hope you're enjoying yourselves, hope you're all doing well. Lots to talk about, of course. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're having a wonderful day today. But listen, man. Oh, don't drop, please. I was getting scared. But listen, I actually used that video, as I said before, while I was muted, because I use free StreamYard. Because I am not paying for this. You know what I mean? I am a very stingy guy. So I thought, you know what? Just let me use my old YouTube video. Does the timer for me. Does the entrance. Easy peasy. Because StreamYard are being greedy, but I'm being stingy. And I'm going to win. That's what matters. But a lot to talk about, of course. We've basically sold KDH. Ugochukwu. Chukwuemeka seems to be on his way. A lot of other players have obviously set to be sold as well. We'll discuss a lot about that and more. It seems obviously that Garnacho has obviously gotten close to personal terms as well, which we'll discuss as well, of course. But listen, as you come in, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Make sure to tell a friend. Helps me out and helps the channel out at the end of the day. And of course, the channel is almost at 3,000 subscribers. So, you know, again, we're only going to get bigger, better, and stronger. So, as I was saying before. But let me bring on my panel real quick. Give me a moment whilst I do that. Bang. And bang. Big up to everyone that's here. Hope you're all doing well.
Yo.
Really warm in this room. Oh, well.
Can you hear me?
But, yes, I can. How are you doing, bro? You doing good?
Good. I'm good, bro. How are you?
That's nice to meet you. Nice to see you, bro. Always good to see you. But let me...
By the way.
Scott, my G, how is it, bro?
What did you say about my mic, Scott?
It's doing that thing again where like it's going in and out. Like it sounds like you're speaking across the room.
So it's literally in front of me, you know. Okay, it should be fine now. How's it sounding now?
I got a
It's
mic
good now.
stand. I got a mic stand for that exact reason.
Bro, it's just holding a sword.
You
I'm not too bad.
Pulling out weapons, bro. Why you just keep pulling out weapons like it's something like you got a war ahead of you or some shit?
Listen, man. Listen, you never know, man. You never know.
Mr. HD, I'm still on the clock. I got like 8 minutes left, and then I'll roll up.
KDH is good. But
Love the
KDH is just undergoing his medical right now. Apparently, so just to let people know. That's the breaking news. But of course, listen, we might as well start with KDH because that was the big breaking news, obviously, that came out today. And that is, of course, the fact that Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is set to go to Everton. The fee, I'm just going to bring up right now for everyone to see. Bish, Bashasween,
90 million euros, bro, for Benjamin Sesko.
Hey, man. That's a Newcastle problem, as I like to call it. But obviously, that's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to obviously Everton for 25 million plus add-ons, which will rise it to 28, 29 million, which is basically what we brought him for. If I'm not mistaken, we brought him for like 30 million. Isn't that correct? If I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically just broke even on the brother, or we're probably a bit more positive, obviously, on the books because he's got 4 years left on his deal. So
yeah, we did make like 4 million on like book value.
Yeah. So essentially, man, he's gone. As I said many times before, I wish him nothing but the best. He's a top professional. Been a few. Listen, the performances weren't great to begin with, but he's kind of grown into it, and he's understood his role. So listen, wish him nothing but the best, and hope he performs well. Obviously, I don't know about you guys.
No, I second that. He didn't really have a place in the team going forward. He was someone I didn't really care about him going or staying because, like, you saw in the Club World Cup, there was still opportunities for him to play in terms of if you needed to bring him on the wing. Obviously, we don't really need to going forward, but like if you needed him to play 5 minutes in the game, you didn't really have any other subs. You just needed to see out a game. He could do that, but at the same time, it's like that's a nice 25 mil guaranteed in our on our books and our purse. We can put that towards Simmons potentially getting him in. And yeah, maybe put that towards, a better goalkeeper. We can only hope. And yeah, so like it's a good move for him. I think he goes there. They've just lost Doucouré. They've got obviously Garner, probably one other midfielder I'm forgetting about, but like he's got a chance to play there.
So it's Garner, Gay, and then really him. That's like really the.
There's the black brother as well. There's the black midfielder. There's another black midfielder they have whose name is.
Oh, they've got Irabunum, but he's playing ahead of him, and I think there's one other. But again, I can't remember who it is. But yeah, he'll get minutes there. He'll start.
Yeah, he'll definitely play. He'll definitely play. He's like a perfect mid-table warrior. Like he's like the perfect mid-table warrior. Like for a team like us, like he's a great squad player. Looked like he was a good dressing room guy. Like really not necessarily like a problem player to have on your team. At this point, we don't just necessarily need that in our team. He's just an extra at this point. Like it's just like he's the coach's son. Like that's kind of like the role that he ended up playing, and then now he's moved on, and no harm, no foul. Not upset about it. Happy that he didn't get like Danny Drinkwatered in the end. Like that's really where it came down to, because that's what a lot of people were saying that he was going to end up being, was like another Danny Drinkwater. Well, in the end, we ended up making our money back. So everyone can hold that about this guy.
Danny Drinkwater,
he wasn't he wasn't a guy. He wasn't a guy that we like was up. Like it wasn't a guy that's like. You can't be upset that he's leaving, but you can't be upset that he was here, because he actually showed up when he was here. He played pretty well when he was here. It's not like he really ever had a bad game when he played. So,
I mean, he had some bad games to begin with, but at the end of the day, he improved. That's what matters, right? He improved. That's what matters. I think that's the best way to put it. But yeah, man, listen. Again, KDH is gone. We go from one guy what's it called? That's gone to another one that's gone. This one's a bit more heartbreaking, personally, man. You know, I thought this guy had a future at the club, but he is on his way to Burnley. He's going to be looking like I'm doing some Burnley watch-alongs on the side, but and that is my boy Lesley Ugochukwu to Burnley. So obviously he's gone down on a permanent deal. I actually couldn't find the fee for him. I don't know why. It's like that's like the second player.
20, I thought it was. Yeah. I thought I saw 20-something million.
That's like the second player, by the way, that we've sold to Burnley. Where the not been mentioned. Like I don't know what's going on.
Bro. Oh, the second one that's not been mentioned.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, man. But like, are we doing some dodgy dealing?
No, I'm pretty sure that they announced that number. Right there.
No, so they say it will be over 20 million. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like
it's about 20 million, bro. It's gonna be 20 million plus add-on, something like that.
That's another one. That's one. That's another one.
Who cares?
What? You don't care about Ugochukwu? See, this is what I'm talking about.
No. Who cares about the number, bro?
Oh, I was just curious because obviously I know the club was wanting quite a bit of money for him, no? If I'm not mistaken.
No, we were always looking for around 20 million for him.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something different.
And same thing with Carney now. Carney's gonna end up going for like 25.
Yeah, I think Carney they wanted a lot more for Carney. That guy was a bit different because
they're gonna only get 25 for him.
And they were never gonna get.
Yeah, his injuries is the reason why he was never
exactly. Not even injuries. The club they're selling him to would never buy him for what you wanted.
Exactly.
I think Leipzig would have paid 40 for him if he wasn't injured.
Leipzig would have paid that money, but the problem is he doesn't want to go to Leipzig as well. That's the other thing that we.
Yeah, he wants Dortmund. That's a problem.
Yeah. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Lesley, my boy, Lesley's gone. He's gone to Burnley. I hope he doesn't get relegated again, like Southampton. But you know, there's always that's only like 80% chance that's gonna happen. So but yeah, listen, I hope he develops that. I hope he plays well. I think Scott Park is the manager there, isn't he? So
yeah.
And he's got a history of relegations under him. So
Burnley in general have a history of relegation. Like he'll probably get relegated, but like I'll be honest, it's not gonna be the end of the world if he can do what Lavia did, where like he can show he's the best player there. On that team,
just do what KDH did.
Yeah, like just show you can be the best player on that team. Even if you do get relegated, you'll get another big move. Like you'll probably stay in the Prem. I'm trying to think. They obviously just lost a big midfielder in the off season in Brownhill. I did look at their team yesterday. I can't remember who they got.
They didn't lose Brownhill yet, I don't think.
Yeah, well, he's technically gone, but I think they're trying to get him back.
Yeah, I heard. Oh,
his contract has expired, but it like.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And his contract
has expired, but I think they're trying to get him back. But I don't know if they have yet. Outside
of
him, I don't know who they got.
Last year. He
was their captain. They got Cullen in midfield, I think. But yeah, he should start for them. Definitely get good minutes, better minutes than he did at Southampton under Russell Martin. And yeah, like it's a good move for him. And yeah, just hopefully he develops. Like even if the thing is like
go for it, Scott. Sorry,
I would say the thing with that move is like even if they do get relegated, he should still develop nicely because he's under a manager that can help develop players. It would have been nice to see him go to a higher team, but maybe they just weren't interested or paying what we wanted. But yeah, I like the move.
He's disingenuous with his time in Southampton, though. Like every time I watched him play for Southampton, he actually played pretty well.
No, I agree. Like, but that's like people do. They like to be disingenuous. Excuse me. Yeah, like he played really well. I didn't really have an issue with how he played when he actually played. And yeah, like he just needs game time. Like he literally just needs game time. That's basically all it is.
I just think for me, listen. Hopefully he does well. He had a good second half of the season at Southampton because he was playing a lot more and everything of the sort. So listen, I look forward to seeing how he does there. It's a shame, obviously, that he's gone. It's a shame that he's obviously gone. But you know, but listen, Lesley, fly high, bro. You know what I mean? Sugu, man. Day one. My eyes are on you, big man.
I'll be honest. The thing with Sugu, and I've said this before, like he is not as good as Ugochukwu is currently because he's like 3 years younger. He's he's further behind in his development because he's 3 years younger and he's had less game time. But that's what the club is choosing to go for. Like the question now is, can Isugo make that jump up in terms of like if he develops at a quick rate, then it's fine. If we're talking about him in a year or two and it's the same situation and he ain't developed for shit, then like he's gonna leave too, and we'll be back to like it would just be another person in and Sugo out.
Yep. And we'll sell Sugo for a profit too.
Sugo, mate. I'm just got my listen. Day one, the smoke is on with you. Day one, that's what I'm gonna say. But next guy that we will be speaking about, of course, is Carney Chukwuemeka, and the fact that Chelsea have reactivated talks for him with Borussia Dortmund. Negotiations are ongoing, and obviously the other thing is talks are advancing as revealed this morning. Essentially, Chelsea have decided to lower the asking price, but they're obviously going to be adding a heavy sell-on clause and a heavy, like obviously add-ons, as well to the player, right? Which I think is what should have happened in the first place. Like, I don't care what anyone tells me. I know that Chelsea generally knew that they were never going to get the money they wanted out of Dortmund. And in addition, if you just look at objectively speaking, Carney Chukwuemeka has been pretty much injured for like at least 60% of the time at Chelsea. The other thing about Carney Chukwuemeka that I think people forget about as well is that he's had his moments here and there. But even when he went to Germany, he didn't play as much. Obviously, he had a few injuries even when he was at Dortmund for them. And again, he's only 21. There's a lot of potential that's still not been done, still not been produced, still not been found, still not been obviously adapted yet. And so I think, he's again one of those ones which I like to call, you're taking a punt on right now. So if you're going to take a punt on a player like him, that's a 20 million sort of fee. So so for me, at the end of the day, man, hopefully we can get that 20 million for him, plus some heavy add-ons and obviously sell-on clause. And I think you've done good business with him. I think we bought him for 20 million, didn't we?
Yeah, we bought him for 20 million.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, at least get the 20 million, then the add-ons and then the sell-on clause will give you that money back.
No, I agree. It's a good deal into like if we get the sell-on clause, that'd be massive because Dortmund are going to sell him for big money if he plays. Excuse me. Yeah, like if he plays, he's going to play and he'll get like probably a big move elsewhere. So that sell-on clause is massive. It's like the number is probably what you expected to get for him. That 40 million thing was stupid. The number's good. It's probably about right. I had a little look at like he's costs about the same. Like that's what they tend to pay for these kind of players. It's similar to what they paid for like Bayer and Schürrle back in the day and Marlon and things like that.
Pretty sure that's how much they spent on Job. It's about 30,
no, they spent more on like they spent 30.5 million, and it's like it's slightly more like with the exchange.
Yeah, but I mean it's they're all
it's within the ballpark
yeah,
though. Yeah, like like it's a good move for him. Like, and it's the move he should have done originally because they were interested when he was going to leave Villa. He should have just gone there. That would be so real. For his own career, he should have gone there. But no, like hopefully it goes well for him.
Yeah, hopefully he can stay healthy and play football. Really, that's like the biggest thing for him. And the one thing I do like about all these moves is that it seems like they're all places where these players are going to play football. It's not like we're sending them to Ashkaban and they're not fucking playing at all. Like that. Like that's the type of thing that like I would have a problem with a little bit. Like, and I know that I shouldn't have a problem because of the sentiment thing that I normally don't have a problem with at all. But I do like to see people succeed in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if they were our footballers at one point. Like, I would like to see Lesley succeed. I'd like to see Carney succeed. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Carney, I would like to see Carney succeed. And yeah, I'll see him in Bundesliga. One of my days that I watch Bundesliga, I'm watching Stuttgart.
Watching the Bundesliga can never be me. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about the outgoings, of course. Now, as always, there's
I'm not going to fight on that.
That's a shame. That's a shame. But we move. But listen, let's talk a bit more about the outgoings. Uh, we are going to be using my good friend, fellow content creator Fabrizio Romano, and this is what. Oh my god! Did I just increase my stream? Oh my god! Increase my stream. Oh, that's why. Okay, I was confused for a second. I was like, "What's a stream again, Vega? Not the." Okay, this is fine anyway.
Yeah, you can't zoom it. You can't zoom StreamYard. It just
No. I zoomed the page. So like, I thought I was using two screens. That's why. But anyway, more on sales. Sterling will go. Jackson can go. Nkunku will go. George can go on permanent. And what this means is Chelsea will be ready to attack new signings. Kelma. Again, I know I haven't spoken to you two about obviously outgoings wise. I just think with Sterling, I think Fulham or Napoli is probably going to be where he goes next. The thing about Napoli is that I hope they can convince him, obviously, to move, because I know he still likes to, I know that he likes to obviously stay in London because his family's from there. He's from there, and it's probably a better place for him to stay at. Of course, you've got Nicholas Jackson. The Jackson thing is a bit strange because, like, it keeps on getting talked about.
Is it strange, Ahmed, or am I right? Is it strange or am I right?
What I mean by
That's
that is
all
that,
I gotta say.
What I mean by that is that, listen, I want Jackson. I've said that Jackson's gonna leave. I know you've heard me say it before, but what I mean by that is that he continues, and he continues to talk about, Jackson can go. It's like, I want
to fight for my spot, just like Williams trying to fight.
You know what I mean? Like, he keeps on, you know what I mean? Like he keeps on saying, like, that's not said, but we know he's gonna go. But it's like, it's the 4th of August. There's not been that much movement in regards to him. I don't know what's going on. Like, the thing is, like, especially after what's happened with both Broya, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Ugochukwu, Chukwuemeka is another one right now in terms of like the sales. It's clearly, I feel like it's a lot more clear that something's going on in the background. In my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure everyone here would agree with that. Stuff is going on in the background in terms of movement, and like I think Chelsea's just doing a much better job of hiding of who these outgoings are, if that makes sense. So
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we know who the outgoings are. I think they're hiding the deals in terms of when.
No, that's what I mean. Like, so that's how Chico said.
We all knew who was going. We just didn't know. Like, I don't think any of us expect them to go as quickly as they have done. That's why I don't think Jackson goes this window.
Or the location.
I'll be honest.
Or the location. We had no idea, anything about anybody moving to anywhere. Like, we just don't have any idea about any of these.
Like, no one expected any moves to Burnley or anything like that.
Yeah, nobody expected KDH to Everton. Like,
to be fair, that Everton one, in hindsight, we probably should have. Like, if you look at how badly they need players and the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you expect it is a different story to like hear about it, though.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
No, that's fair enough. But like, in hindsight, you probably should have expected that could have been something that had been done. But like,
yeah, but we could have expected KDH to go to West Ham. That's where I thought.
But I'd say what I mean is, like, I don't think any of us expected Ugochukwu or Broja to go Burnley. None of us expected that. Like, if you'd asked me where they're going,
exactly,
I'd have probably said Broja was going Championship, and I'd probably said Lesley was going to a mid-table team in the Premier League or France. I was not saying Burnley.
Broja getting sold to Burnley generally is like, oh no,
incredible.
I'll be honest. That's incredible.
Yeah, Jackson leaves. I think he leaves in January.
You lagged out. You lagged out. I didn't hear a word.
Yeah, you just lagged out a little bit. That's got me.
Oh, I said I don't think Jackson leaves. I think if he does leave, it's in January.
The thing about Jackson is that, and this is just my current theory, of course. And this is what I'm gonna say. I actually think, this Sesko stuff that's happening right now is probably gonna be what pushes where Jackson's gonna go. What I mean by that is that obviously if you see that Newcastle is going crazy with these bids, bro. They're trying to make sure United can't,
bro. 90 million.
They were in 90 million. They really
90 million for Sesko. It's insane.
They really said, we have to get some form of change back because we have to make sure nothing can be stopped, bro, in this regard, bro. Like, they are doing
90 million for Benjamin Sesko.
And the thing is, they're also going for Wissa, right, as a backup like striker as well. So you've taken 2 strikers.
Well, there's your 150 million that you just spent up from
the Wissa thing.
Gone.
The Wissa thing I find weird because to me he's not like a single striker.
No, but they need a backup, right, bro? So that's the thing.
They
so,
need
like,
a backup, Scott.
That's the.
I suppose.
So, but like I think, listen, you lose 2 strikers of the market. The only one that's going to be currently available for United is Nicholas Jackson, unless they're gonna really pay that money for Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, and then if they do pay the money for Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa is just going to pay the money for Nicholas Jackson anyways.
Exactly. So I really listen. I think Newcastle has done us a good favor here. Big up to Newcastle, man. Shout out to the lads up north, on the Tyne side. So it's kind of but
one regen with a leap and a power shot.
But genuinely, like I can't lie to you, man. Every time I see like Sesko, like I feel like I'm watching like an NBA combine video, bro. You know what I mean? They're doing like, you know what I mean? They're getting the vertical. You know what I mean? He's doing the vertical. You know what I mean? He's doing the little running thing. He's doing the little running. You know,
the thing, the jumping test where they have
to exactly the ropes.
The clicks.
Yeah, bro. I swear to God, man, that's what it feels like, man. Or like. Like sometimes they even look like the wide receiver videos. Like sometimes, like they're jumping up to get the ball. Like they do it like that too. Sometimes I'm like, bro, what's going on in the sport, man? What's happening to the sport? No, it's honestly though, it's hilarious. Though, kind of funny. Like
it's like they didn't have his sports in Slovenia for him, so he had to play football. He had to play football. Like, he couldn't play wide receiver in the NFL, and he wasn't quick enough to play basketball, or he was just getting dunked. He was just getting busted by like Luka Doncic in his younger days. So he's just like, all right, I'm playing football.
Literally, man. Did you equate yourself to Fabrizio as a content creator? I didn't equate myself. I just said that he's a content creator. So I mean, we can agree to disagree on that.
You are one of the shameless of the shameless, my friend.
I would not call myself. I don't aggregate news. I'm not an aggregator. As a report, I don't even speculate on this channel. I just report the news that's been given. But we move. But on honest, continuing on.
You don't speculate on this channel. I just don't say the word speculate again, please, for my sanity.
Okay, we're on Tyrique off then. How about that? But listen, we move. But listen. I've always synonyms have I've always got synonym for everything. But on a serious note, Jackson obviously, I think he's gonna leave. I don't think it's gonna be Jerry. I actually just think it's gonna be the summer. I do agree with Jerry on that one. I've said that for a while. I just think for me, it's just about dominoes falling. And I think United or Aston Villa are eventually gonna get desperate. So whoever gets desperate first is the one where the shoe's gonna fall for. So whoever Jackson goes to. So we'll see what happens in that regard too. Now
I can't believe people are considering Gilchrist and Matos 2 players that we have to sell. Like, bro, just send them.
We got. Do people not realize Matos was a free and Gilchrist was a free? So whatever money we make on them, it's always going to be a positive. We got Matos from Norwich, if I'm not mistaken, right, on a free.
Yeah,
he was an academy
from Norwich.
Yeah, people forget that, by the way. But I thought it was where did Fabrizio speak go? There we go. Yeah, Nkunku, obviously, I think Nkunku. It's interesting because I know that Inter Milan is like kind of speaking to his agent or something like that right now to discuss stuff with him. But then obviously the Ademola Lookman stuff came out obviously about like he's missing training now, trying to force the move.
Yeah, but Atalanta's also said that they're never gonna sell him for 40 million.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know what's happening there, but you like to think maybe that one door is closed. Bit of our way, Marshall. Hope he's doing well. But I think with that, I'm just confused as to where to go next. Where does he go next? But I'm hoping Inter Milan. Do you think Chelsea accept 40 million for Nkunku, by the way? So I was thinking about this, and hear me out.
I still think we can get 40.
It's because I calculated how much he's got left in his book value, and it is within the 40 million range, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. You would have not only Inter but Spurs now with the injury to Madison. I don't
think Spurs are at need to, because I think with the additions they've made in with Paulinho coming in and with Kudus coming in, you've got Kulusevski can play the 10. They've got Kudus can play the 10. Then I don't think they're in a position where they need to go and get another 10.
Yeah, but they're acting that way though. I'm going to tell you that.
I think they're in a position where they need to get a winger.
I'm telling you right now, they're acting as if they need to get another 10 mil. They're acting in the manner of that because they reached out to Jack Grealish's camp.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but Grealish can play wing as well, so I think it's like they're going for someone who can play a bit of both.
I guess.
How long's Kulu? Not Kulu. How long's Kulusevski out injured for?
December.
What injury did he get? That's a crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But listen, but we move with Nkunku. It's interesting because I also do think Bayern need a 10. I know the automated stuff is like it's not really heard that much about it.
They're not getting Nick.
Yeah,
as a Stuttgart
they're
fan,
not
I can
getting
tell
him.
you the news on that. They're not getting Nick.
So they're not getting.
They would have to pay. They're going to have to pay over the odds to get Nick Woltemade. And if they don't get Nick now, they'll pay over the odds in January probably. But I don't think they get Nick in January.
So they can't. So obviously with him, that's not happening. You've obviously got Simmons. That's not happening as well. So I just look at that and I think, what's happening there, right? If that makes sense, right? Is that maybe a situation where Nkunku can actually go to that place? Of course. And I don't know. I'm thinking about another club. Maybe
I'm telling you right now. That Madison injury, Spurs are going to be needing a 10. I don't care what that Kulu, all this. Kulu coming off a long-term injury in December, and then you're just going to run without a 10 because Madison's done for the year. I think it's ACL. I think he's done for the year, from my understanding.
Yeah, it is.
I'm 100% positive they go for a 10. They were about to until Enzo Malloy went to Al Ali this morning.
Ooh.
They were in for Enzo Malloy. So I know for a fact they're in for a 10. Now this whole thing.
Yeah, and the Enzo Malloy one was a tough one for AC Milan, bro. Damn. That was a tough one for AC Milan, I'll be honest. I was surprised. Not AC Milan, sorry. Atletico Madrid, because I was like, damn, if they had got a name as well, they have done a lot.
They already got Thiago Almada though.
They got Almada and they don't play with a 10. Like Almada's playing left mid, so I don't really know what the fuck where Malloy would play.
I feel like a lot of their moves don't make sense, Scott.
The thing about Atletico Madrid, I just feel like they're just trying to stack everything so they can have any random guy just come in and just do something. That's what it just feels like. I
don't know because here's the thing: they went and bought Arthur Veerman, the young Belgian baller, and they never used him. He's one of the best young. He was the best young deep line playmakers in football at the time. Never.
You know what the problem is, bro? The problem is, I feel like the Atletico is very similar to Chelsea, where I feel like the signings that are made by the sporting director and the signings that are made by obviously Diego Simeone, like there's guys that he looks at and that he wants in it, and then and if he doesn't really like you and he's not one of them ones, you will probably be like, you just won't play them, which is what most more than
I don't think Simeone has enough power in the transfer market for that team. I don't think he has enough power because they keep giving him players that don't make sense to the system. Don't make sense to the way that he plays in the system. They'll just buy ballers, right? It's just ballers. You know what I'm saying? It's not fits what Diego Simeone likes in a footballer. You know what I'm saying?
It does make
Diego Simeone needs to be bought like if he's Eddie Howe, right? Like Eddie Howe wants physical, ground covering players. You know what I'm saying? These directors, even Berta at the end, Berta was terrible. With this new sporting director too, they just buying players. He doesn't play he doesn't play football. He plays negative football. Okay, he plays negative football, bro. He plays negative football. So why are you getting him players like Thiago Almada, who's a front-footed player who can't press? Who you need to hide in defense. It does none of it makes any fucking sense over there. Why did you get rid of Almeridian? He's the perfect kind of striker you would look. That's the kind of striker that you thrived off of for years.
I feel like I can't lie to you, man. Simeone, man, it might be time to go on.
Bro, he has they just gave him a new fat contract last.
I know they gave a new fat contract, bro, but it's clear. I feel like his decline is becoming a lot more clearer now. And I'm like, I'm not even saying
because, bro, because it's negative football doesn't survive anymore, bro. You can't just be negative.
Yeah.
You can't just be negative and then hope your counter works. It don't work like that no more. Potch is a half example. A half example. Yeah. This guy Simeone, Inzaghi, these guys, they're turning into dinosaurs nowadays. You want to know why Gasperini is still around? Because he's played front-footed football for the last decade. That's why. Even in a back five, he played front-footed football.
But listen, at the end of the day, I don't know if you saw this actually. Hendrick was about to go to Real Sociedad on loan, and then he got injured. I don't know if you saw that came out literally like.
Wait. What happened?
Hendrick was all set to go to Real Sociedad on loan, but then he got injured apparently. So
injured.
We all know what that means, innit? So, but listen, he
was just getting married just a second last week.
Yeah, I know, which is kind of crazy, but we move. But listen, one thing I will say, going back to Nkunku, he is set to leave. We all know the minor injury. He's got a minor injury, so he's not coming back to the team.
Yeah, minor injury.
Minor injury. You know what that means, innit? We all know what that means. So
just like Simmons's minor injury.
Yeah, minor injury, man. We know what's happening. We all know what's happening. But what I will say is that, listen, he's gone. Obviously, Tyrique George, we should speak about Tyrique George, because in terms of outgoings, obviously, I know there's Mönchengladbach interested in him, RB Leipzig interested in him, and it's also been revealed that Roma are also interested in him. That actually came out today. But he favors the move to Germany, which I think is a smart thing. Again, if you look at English wingers and their history in that league, they usually go to better places once they've performed well in that league. In it. So again, Sancho. Again, another one is obviously just Jamie Giddens, who looks set to be replacing him in the team. And yeah, man, I like it, man. I like that for him. I'm very one of the things I've always said about Tyrique George, man. I look forward to wherever he goes next. I think he's gonna be a good player, man. I honestly do believe he's gonna be a good player. I know Lucas is not a big fan of what's it called, Tyrique George, but listen, that's my guy. Man.
It's not that I hate him. I just think that for me, it's just pure profit. Like again, he was never gonna make it at Chelsea.
This is nasty work, man.
You don't even know. You didn't even call him by his name. You just called him pure profit.
Bro, I knew it after the second game. I'm like, just give me the 25 million already.
Man, it's very nasty, man. Like I feel like all half the academy kids. Whenever we get a new academy kid, bro, it's just like what pure profit. It's
relax. I don't hate all academy kids. All right, I like the ball.
No, just I'm not even saying that to be you, Lucas. I'm talking about like any academy kid that we get that comes into like the first team. Everyone's thinking pure profit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, bro. Again, Reece James, I could tell very early on, like when he came on for Chelsea, like, oh, this guy is cold. Mount, like, I just knew this guy was so average. Like from the very first game, like this guy's so average. Like you can tell, like when a guy's a baller, like, oh, this guy, there's something about him. Tyrique, again, he's a very good finisher. Has a really strong weak foot. But the best games that I've seen from Tyrique was at striker. So, like, I just wasn't impressed with him as a winger. So, I just knew he was never going to make it at Chelsea. Like, with all the wingers that we have, I wouldn't mind to keep him as a third striker, but he's not going to want to be a third striker. So,
I actually just literally forgot something. I got a guy in my comments that me and him know about very well. Hello, Joe. How does it feel to know that your winger is of the level of Sunderland? How does it feel to know that your winger is a Sunderland level winger, mate? He's not even getting called up yet by bigger clubs in Sunderland. It's I forget his name right now. Is it
that guy from France? That guy that you always it's
the
Lorient, son. Lorient.
Oh,
Lorient.
Lorient.
Bro, he is fucked, by the way. Bro, that guy's failed 2 medicals in the space of like a month.
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow.
Mm-hmm. I've been waiting for this moment for Joel to message in this so we could talk shit about Armand Lorient. Amount of times he brought that fucking guy's name up on a stream. We did it for fucking 2 years straight. This guy was bringing up Lorient, son. 2 years straight, me and Ahmed were doing his streams. Every day, this guy would bring up Lorient, son. Even Axe knew who we were talking about before it even came up.
But I will say this: the only negative about selling Tyrique George is we're going to bring in Garnacho.
Wait a minute.
I don't necessarily think that like.
What? Sorry.
One,
Did he actually fail 2 medicals? I actually didn't even know that
Yes.
he failed 2 medicals.
Yeah.
no, so he failed. So he
He's not
failed
going
the Sunderland one.
to Sunderland.
Yeah, the Sunderland
What?
one broke down, and I think there was like 2 differing reports. There was one of a failed medical, and there was one of he just pulled out. Then he was going to go to Fenerbahce, and he failed the medical. And then it came out after that. Yeah, it came out after that because I think there was a couple of Sunderland accounts. I saw one of them basically tweeting like there were reasons why, and people asking, "Well, yeah, that's the reason why the Sunderland move didn't happen because he failed the medical at Sunderland."
So what's the reason he failed? Because I remember one of the reasons why
I don't know, bro. He just failed 2 medicals. I actually don't know what the reason is. He just failed.
Remember when
Nusa
Nusa failed his medical, if I'm not mistaken, because he had something in his there was like some broken bones, right? That he had like some that they found out by his MRI scan. I think was this not when Nusa was going Spurs or something like that? If I'm not mistaken, it was something of that sort. But
yeah, Nusa, there was like a knee injury, I think, with him.
Yeah, it was something like that. I remember that. Yeah.
Something like that.
So hey, Joe, man, your guy can't even pass medicals, mate. Hey, man, hope he enjoys Sassuolo. Sassuolo's not even that bad of a city, Joe. I've been to Sassuolo before.
So yeah, Star was saying something about Tyrique George and Garnacho.
Yeah, the reason I don't think that like happens is because like a lot of this is in my mind and speculation, but like us bringing Simmons in, like it makes no sense to me to bring in Garnacho after Simmons unless Simmons is the backup to Palmer, which I don't understand if that's the case. Why you're spending 70 mil or 60 mil on a backup to Palmer when he's going to play 90% of the minutes.
Yep.
Whether you could have like Neymar behind him, he's going to play 90% of the minutes.
Yeah.
In this team, so like I think when Simmons is here, he's going to play left wing anyway. He's going to play that left 10 wing hybrid role that what's his face was playing in the Club World Cup.
Nkunku.
Yeah, Nkunku was playing in the Club World Cup.
Can you bring up a comment, please?
Then what's it called?
The least one.
Then Gittins is going to be the backup, or Gittins is going to play in those games where you need 2 out and out wide wingers, to stretch the field.
This one,
no,
and then
the one above,
and then, but that's where I say like, so there's no place for Garnacho in this team.
That's what I said.
And so explain why he's not going to get Mudryk. Let me just explain this so people can understand. Garnacho is a narcissistic maniac, egotistical prick. This guy actually thinks he's like CR7. Yeah. This guy, if he doesn't play in every game, he's going to destroy the dressing room. Like the guy is a psychopath. People need to understand this, bro.
But that doesn't mean shit, son. That don't mean shit. Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole he's gonna ruin the dressing room shit is bullshit to me. I watched João Pedro punch his own teammate in the face. You don't think that this shit could be handled? Like, don't get it twisted. This shit ain't gonna happen. Garnacho, I promise you, bro. As soon as this guy starts kicking a fuss, he's getting to the U21s. Like he gets kicked.
Oh no, Joe. Like I agree with you.
That this kid's gonna be a fucking problem. He's not gonna be a problem.
It's going to happen. Like he's going to do something stupid. But yeah, I don't think it's going to ruin anything. I do just think it brings. I said this on the casual stream the other day. It brings a parasite and a cancer. Yeah. Because that's him and his brother. It brings that into a dressing room when you don't need to. I don't think it affects it in terms of it's not going to ruin it.
I'm going to actually disagree slightly here. I think having a harmonious dressing room is always good. But I also think
you said the other day
listen, sometimes, bro, you need a little bit of spice. Every now and then, you need a little bit of spice there, right? And what I mean by that is like someone that's a bit more competitive, that's going to try to compete, right? That wants to be like the bigger man sometimes, right? That's sometimes a good thing, right? Because it can motivate his teammates, can motivate himself, right? To try to compete with the guys that's in front of him, right? We're already trying to set an environment, right? Where a lot of these guys are competing for the same spots, right? Essentially. So I don't necessarily have to, I get the point of the cancer stuff, but at the same time, I do think there's a positive way to view it where it creates a lot more of a competitive environment.
There is no positive, bro.
No, I was going to say, Ahmed, what you're talking about is a little bit of ego. Like, for example, if a CR7 in his prime came into this locker room of like, there's that little bit of ego that can be backed up of like, I'm the best player here, and like, you need to get on my level. That I agree with. We're talking about the ego of someone who thinks he's CR7 and plays like he's Ali Dyer with his brother, who wants to tweet whenever something doesn't go his brother's way, he wants to tweet and post on Instagram talking shit about the team and the manager. That is unnecessary cancer. That's an unnecessary cancer you're bringing into the dressing room.
Bro.
He will do that.
He doesn't know United to a sweet,
he'll do that. He'll do that shit because he wants to get it for attention and he wants to hype his brother up and this, that, and the other. It will happen. The thing I agree with Joey about, it won't ruin the dressing room. You just bring an unnecessary cancer and parasite into the dressing room for literally no reason. For absolutely no reason. You spend 30 million on a guy. This is the other thing as well. You spend 30 million on a guy who's going to get quote unquote Mudryk minutes. Cool. So he's going to play 10 minutes in the cup, like 10 minutes in the odd Champions League game once we've qualified. You don't spend 30 million on that player. You get them from the academy.
But before we even get to that, Scott, I think this idea of Mudryk was actually getting a lot of minutes. People seem to forget this,
in the Conference League.
In the Conference League, bro. He was, and the reason why we're playing,
but we don't have Conference League anymore.
Exactly. There you go.
I agree. But like, I'm trying to give back the context here, which is like,
I forgot about that, bro.
I understand the point. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that too. But like the point I was talking about was that the reason why Mudryk was getting so much from the Conference League because the club was hoping that the Conference League minutes would translate to him doing well in prime minutes. And that was obviously we were only saw that in the beginning stage, right? But obviously it didn't happen, so it is what it is. But the other point about the leaking of the lineups, bro. If the lineup gets leaked here week 1, we all know who it is now. You know,
of course we do, bro. But that's what we know who it is anyway, bro. Because it happened at United. It's gonna happen again. Because of course it's gonna happen again. Because he can't change. And he won't change. So it's going to happen again.
I mean, I feel like that's being disingenuous, bro.
Yeah, we're being a bit unfair to him.
I get where you're coming from. I get where you guys are coming from. Don't wait. Can we just take a second? Okay. Let's not talk about in my opinion, the talking about the off the field stuff is like it is irrelevant to me. To me, that's irrelevant because I know what this dressing room's about at this point. So to me, this shit's irrelevant. He's a side man. He needs to earn his spot regardless. He's gonna be the one on the shortest fucking leash out of everybody. Okay.
Yep.
First thing is this. All right. When we talk about this financially, first and foremost, okay. If you look at the numbers, right, with our UEFA registration issues and us having to be like pretty much flush money in and money out. The only way Simons and Garnacho happens, if you look at the money and you put the flat numbers on the flat numbers, maybe it's a little bit different. If you do put the flat numbers on each other, we can only offer him a loan. If we're getting Simons, we can only offer him a loan. So, like, first and foremost, like, that's what I expect it to be, is a Sancho type deal.
Exactly, I agree. That's what I've been saying to you, bro.
First things first, okay? Not that I expect that, like, for me to, like, for Manchester United to think they're out of the hill with Garnacho is that they're well mistaken. They may still have to deal with him next year. We might not have this at all happen, okay? There's still a lot that has to happen, right? Manchester United still has to agree to our valuation of him, which is 20 million less than what they value him. So, like, at this point, like, we can say, oh, it's going to happen. But if it happens, it's probably going to be on loan because we don't match in valuations. Okay? So, there's, like, first and foremost, it's that. Second, he don't bring nothing to this football team that we don't already have. That's the problem with it. We don't. Everything that he can bring to this football team, I can say that either Neto or Gittins already has that. So we're not bringing anything to this football team that can help us. Nothing. There's zero to this. There's literally nothing good about this.
So why is he coming then?
Nothing.
So why is he coming? Again,
we are a business. Don't you get it? Lucas, stop. You don't act like you forget that we are a business. We are a business.
But again,
we are a business.
listen,
I know you don't want to hear it, but we are a fucking business.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Even on a loan, this deal doesn't make any sense to me. I'll explain why. For this guy, we have to remember this guy in the Europa League final, he made such a big, oh, I didn't play in the Europa League final. I was one of the better players in the Europa League, and in the final, I didn't play, and that's why we lost. This is a guy that has no qualities whatsoever. People that are trying to do the whole copium thing, oh, he's a 1v1 demon. This guy is one of the worst dribblers in the world. Not even in the Premier League, in the world.
Bro,
he's terrible.
No one is So see, that's the thing. Is nobody's disagreeing with you, but we just sold Nani Madueke for a profit. So don't tell me we can't make a. Okay, but don't tell me, bro. Sure, but don't tell me we can't make a profit on him. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
The problem is, Andrew's spitting, by the way, and
it's a good idea.
The issue, like I said, the issue I have with the whole.
Sorry, Scott. Let me just conclude my point. Right, the second point. This guy, again, he's a narcissist. He actually believes he can only play at top level clubs. So if we were to sell this guy, which we will in a year, which I agree with Joey on, he's only going to want to go to a high level club. He's not going to settle for an Aston Villa. He's not going to settle for like a Lyon and teams like middle tier teams, Marseille and stuff like that. He's going to want to go to like a really high level club. So if he comes in and he flops, which he will, right? It's going to be difficult to sell him. Yes, we can sell him to break even 30 million. That's fine. But like Nani Madueke, for example, right? He's a better footballer. And you guys know how I feel about Nani Madueke. He's terrible. And this guy is worse than Nani Madueke.
Yeah.
Right?
Nani Madueke outscored Garnacho's best ever goal scoring season last year.
Exactly. And he's not good.
The one thing I will say though, like guys, listen, this is me not being like obviously
again, guys, this is a guy.
I get, but Lucas, I get what you're saying. But I think we need to add, we need to also add, I think, some necessary context here. I don't like to do this, but you have to add the context. Like he's at a United side where these kids do not upgrade, they don't improve at United, bro. Right? So, in my personal opinion, he can only get better than what he is at United.
He's a transition winger, by the way. We play possession-based football.
I get that. Listen, I get that. But I think the point I'm trying to make, though, is still true. He's got to be better than what he was at United. So, no
based
matter
on what?
Based on what?
Based on what?
Based on how bad he was at United. I think for me, I think all of us agree Maresca is a much better manager than Amram.
Can I ask you a question then, Ahmed?
Did he improve Nani Madueke's decision making in 2 seasons?
No, I was going to say, Ahmed, based on that, hang on, based on that point, Ahmed, based on that point, was Sancho better than he was at United for us?
Yes, he was better than. Yes, he was.
How much better?
I would say. Listen,
and Sancho's a great footballer, by the way.
I would actually argue. Listen, I would say
10% better, and that's the only obligation that we've ever done.
But the reason why I say listen, but the reason why I say that is that listen,
but Scott,
he's 10% better. Yeah, but 10% better for us, yeah, can be the us selling for 30 million and then us selling for 40 million next year.
But why are we taking that risk?
Yeah, I don't agree.
Why are we taking that risk? Because we're a business. Because we're a business. What don't you get? We are a business.
We can go get Melissa for less money.
I was going to
I don't like it either, bro. I don't like it either.
No.
The problem is it's a business.
No.
The problem, bro, you don't have to justify this. This guy's a terrible player.
There is no justification.
There's no justification of this.
There is
no one justifying it. No one's
justifying anything. But you're telling me this, right? Here, I'm trying to rationalize it, not
there is no rationalize it.
Yes, there
is no rationale.
It's a business. What
the only thing I can think
it's a business. That's the rationalization. It's a business. If they get it for the right number and they sell it for a profit the next year, business. I don't get why you're not grasping.
It goes back to my point.
Yeah, no. But
wait. You just said, right? We just said if he can improve, if Maresca can improve him 10% better, 10%. That's all we're at. If he can improve him 10% better, we're making 40.
Cool, Joey. I think the argument I would make on this, because if it's a loan, I still hate it.
I'll be honest.
If it's a loan, I hate it, but at least it's like, okay, we haven't spent money on him. I'm talking about from the perspective we spend 30 mil. It makes no sense to spend 30 mil on him when you could get Fofana for cheaper, who's better and has a higher ceiling,
100%.
and you could sell him for a higher profit
for cheaper. You can't get him
Yes,
for
you can.
cheaper. 35-40.
Bro, with Leon's
35-40.
financial problems that they're
I
going
know,
to
but
have.
you say that, but they've accepted 35 from Everton, and they've accepted 35 from Forest. So it's not cheaper.
Let's
Like,
use a better example. Let's use a better example with someone with a higher ceiling and an upside who's cheaper, only slightly cheaper. Tyler Dibbling just had a £27 million. Higher upside, less problems.
They just rejected 40.
No, they just accepted 27. They just accepted 27.
I swear they just rejected 40.
Let me
Wait a second here. I swear to God, this morning they did. I saw
there's been another one where they're closer.
Yeah, I swore they bid, but I thought they rejected the
again. Sancho is a better footballer than Garnacho.
No, I agree.
And people hated him.
No,
right?
So listen,
once again,
I don't have enough time because
Lucas.
One second, Joey. I don't have enough time because
that's including add-ons.
I've got American
All right, fine. 1 second. I'm in 1 second. Let me start a stream real quick, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go. I can't do this now. You started. Let me start a stream, bro.
But the point I'm gonna make, I want to disclose this really quickly. Listen, I don't think anyone here justifies Garnacho. I'm sure everyone here would agree. Bringing Fofana would have done was much better. Is the much better option. But I think at the same time, bro, we also need to realize these football directors sadly also have their love.
No. Sporting director is one person. The overall point I wanted to make just quickly is, regardless of who the name is, right? And people go, "Oh, but who would you bring?" That's not my fucking job. That's the sporting director's job.
Sure.
You could get a better player, or not even a better player.
You don't need to get a player. That's the worst part. You just don't need to.
But no. Yeah, I was going to say, Joey, but
you literally don't need to. You don't.
Joey, there's
you
two
don't
parts.
need anybody. That's my worst problem about this.
I know 100%. Joey, I agree that you don't need to get anyone. That's the first problem. Second problem, let's say they have to get someone because they're obsessed with getting another winger. You could go and sign someone who is as good, because Garnacho is shit, is as good for half the price that you spent 15 million. That's easier to flip in a year's time if he doesn't do well. That's my issue. If you, as I said, if it's a loan, I still hate it, but at least it's a loan. It hasn't really cost any money. That I can kind of like rationalize.
You brought up Quenda again.
Yeah, that I can kind of rationalize.
I agree.
And that's why
a loan would
essentially make sense with the Quenda thing.
Oh yeah, it would essentially open it up for Quenda.
Yeah, so like a loan makes sense. Spending money on Garnacho is the issue here. Like, if it's a loan, like I said, I can rationalize it. He still plays for the club, but he's never going to play, so it's whatever. Bro, actual fucking stupid, by the way. So Garnacho's going to develop playing absolutely no minutes, and we're going to sell him for a profit, but Quenda won't develop in that role.
Yeah, like
playing the same fucking minute. You absolute moron.
Don't see, Scott. I've learned.
These people, because these people,
you can't take some of these people seriously, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know why? Because these same people want to chat to me and throw stones at me, and it's my job to cry about everything. And then literally a minute later, just comment the stupidest shit. Like, bro, stop licking windows and eating the crayons. Put them down for a second. And switch the brain on. But yeah, like that's what it is. Just don't spend money on him. If it's a loan, cool. Like, at least it kind of makes sense.
What is this going to?
I know you're trying to justify. I know that's your, like, you're trying to again, but I'm
not justifying shit, bro. That's the point you don't grasp. I'm not justifying a goddamn thing. You gotta grasp this shit. Like, you don't want to hear it. Okay, business is business. Some things, if you see the opportunity to make money on something, then you do it.
Bro, go get me some asshole from La Liga for 15 million.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, it's always that easy until it's that easy, bro. It's always that easy until it's that easy. It's never that fucking easy, bro.
Bro, I'm being honest. I'm seeing some of the deals.
You can say it's bad business. Bro, you could say it's bad business. That's fine. That's all it could be. If it's bad business, it's bad business.
It's terrible
business. Sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what's bad business? You know what's bad business as well? Me being late to a stream. So listen.
What stream you going to? Who are you going to?
I'm on American Waffle. I'm going to American Waffle.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I didn't even think about that. So I'll send everybody that I'm live with to American Waffle on time. So I'm going to go live right now.
So big up to you, bro. Go live now. Whilst I'm obviously speaking. But listen, guys, as always, Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Almost at 3K helps me out enough channel at the end of the day as well. We are going to be moving over to American Waffle. You're going to be seeing me there. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff. Apparently, according to Indica, I don't know how reliable this fella is, and everything like that. But he's saying that the bid has been accepted. Apparently, in the last 20 minutes for the Newcastle bid. Obviously, this got accepted.
For Simons or
yeah.
for Sesko.
Yeah, for Sesko just got accepted.
I'm just waiting for that like Ornstein thing.
So obviously we'll find out later.
See you soon.
Yeah.
See you guys on my live.
Yeah. So obviously we'll see what happens there in that regard. But obviously, listen, I know we didn't able to speak about Simmons, but real quick, I think Simmons will get done either today or tomorrow. Actually, that's my theory because I know we have the trophy lift on Wednesday, right? Which I'm going to. So I think by then they'll have you'll get like some sort of Jerry Simmons. Here we go, in my personal opinion. But we move, as always. I've been your host with the most abridged nation. We are going to be heading over to America, as I said before. Tune in. We're going to be cooking Staffy. That's it, for fun. You know what I mean? We're going to be crashing it on Sun. You know, I just don't, we need to crash it on someone. Lovely jubbly. See you later, boys.